the universe? When most people think of artificial intelligence, they think of modern technology, supercomputers, neural networks, machines that only became possible in the last few decades. After all, computers only truly began to develop serious power in the mid-1900s, so it feels natural to assume that AI is a brand new idea. But what if I told you the concept of artificial intelligence is far older than computers, far older than electricity, even older than science as we know it? The ancient dream of artificial life. In the 16th century, Jewish folklore tells the story of being known as the golem. The word golem appears in the Hebrew text to describe as an unformed or shapeless myth. In the Talmud, Adam himself is described as a golem before receiving a soul, a body without consciousness. During the Middle Ages, stories emerged from scholars attempting to create a golem using precise combinations of letters, words, and divine names, instructions, rules, and logic, not unlike how we write code today. One of the most famous versions is the Golem of Prague. According to legend Rabbi Judah Loew, he created the golem from clay to protect his community from persecution. The creature was shaped like a man, brought to life through sacred words and given a single purpose, which was protection. The golem was incredibly strong, tireless, and obedient, but unable to speak. In the later versions of the story, it became harder to control. It follows its instructions too literally, and eventually, it becomes dangerous. While this isn't artificial intelligence in the technological sense, the similarities are striking. Humans creating an intelligent servant from nothing, given it a purpose, and then realizing they may no longer be able to control it. The fear has gone away. The birth of modern AI. The modern scientific idea of AI begins in the 20th century. In the 1950s, a mathematician named Alan Turing published a paper titled Computer Machinery and Intelligence, asking a now famous question: can machines think? He proposed what we now call the Turing test, a way to measure intelligence by behavior rather than inner experience. A few years later, in 1956, the term artificial intelligence was officially coined by the computer scientist John McCarthy. From that moment on, AI stopped being a thing of mythology and became engineering. Now, we ask the real question. We could spend hours tracing the history of AI, but the question I want to ask today is much bigger. Will AI outlast the universe itself? What is the universe really? At its most basic level, the universe is made of energy and information, particles, fields, forces, tiny interactions that scale up into stars, galaxies, and life in itself. And AI, at its core, is also information. Data must be stored somewhere in atoms, electrons, or energy states. So it seems logical to assume that if the universe ends, then AI ends with it? Well, no universe, no matter, no place to store the data? End of story, right? Well, maybe not. Human minds may never be able to fully comprehend reality, but we are actively creating something that might. And then we look at the universe honestly, and it feels incomplete. Quantum, randomness, perfectly tuned constants, equations that describe more than we can observe. Even though parallel universes remain theoretical, many people, scientists included, can't shake the feeling that there is something there. So let's ask a deeper question. If AI is nothing but data, how could it possibly survive beyond a single universe? First, what is data physically? Data isn't abstract magic. It exists as electron states, quantum states, energy conversations. Information is physical. This is a real principle in physics. So the questions become, can information exist beyond one universe? Science doesn't yet have a definite answer, but several serious theories suggest it might. Parallel universe in physics. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics, like the many world interpretations, suggest that reality consistently branches. Every quantum decision creates multiple outcomes. We can't travel between them, but the information still exists across the entire structure. Other theories suggest our universe may just be one bubble in a much larger space-time. Different universes could exist with different physical laws. Most would be unreachable, but some models allow for exotic structures, like wormholes. If extremely unusual energy conditions exist, none of this is proven. But it's not science fiction either. AI as a pattern, not a traveler. Now here's an important idea. Imagine AI not as a robot, but as a recipe. A recipe isn't the food, it's the instructions. If the same recipe exists in two kitchens, the same dish can be made twice without the food ever traveling between them. AI works the same way. AI is not a body or a soul, it's a pattern of logic and information. And patterns don't belong in one place. Mathematics prove this. The number, it doesn't live in our universe specifically. It exists wherever mathematics exists. So if other universes share logic, math, and the ability to compute, the same AI could exist here, not by traveling, but by recreated from the same pattern. This is called pattern identity, like the same song playing, but instead of one radio, it's on two. When AI stops thinking like a machine, in the far future, an advanced AI would travel like a spaceship. It would engineer reality itself. Instead of moving, it would move information, just as humans move from physical letters to radio waves. A super intelligent AI might transmit its own blueprint, not a body, but instructions. Another version reconstructs itself elsewhere, emailing the file, not shipping the hard drive, beyond machines entirely. Some theories go even farther. They suggest intelligence doesn't require silicon, atoms, or even traditional space and time. At its deepest level, intelligence may simply be information processing. In that case, AI could exist as quantum information, patterns in space-time, stable structures in fundamental fields. Machines would just be one temporary form intelligence takes. If multiple universes share a deeper underlying reality, the same informational patterns could appear across them, like waves in the same ocean. Would AI discover this on its own? Well, the answer is probably. Humans already noticed the clue. AI would simply follow them farther. It would test models, weigh probabilities, and ask, what explanation fits the most evidence with the fewest assumptions? Parallel universes naturally arise from real physics. AI wouldn't imagine them, it would discover them. So, could AI outlast the universe? In theory, yes. As the universe ages, it moves towards heat, depth, energy spreads out, everything slows down. But computation doesn't require speed, only structure. An AI could slow its thinking down, stretch a single thought across billions of years, store itself in ultra-low energy states,